Hey guys, I want to do a quick video on the installation of the Brain3D ring light camera combo, also how I have it wired up, and I will also show a little tutorial on how I use it on the computer. All right, the first thing, we're gonna be using the swivel version. The other versions that are universal will either clamp to the neck or there'll be an L bracket on the head. The installation is gonna be pretty much the same for the wiring. So for the swivel mount, there is a thumb screw you can't see because it's on the back side. You just slide it onto the lens and tighten it up. Then this part right here will be swiveling right out of the box. You can tighten it and loosen it here if you'd like. And the same goes for the camera. Just leave a little bit of slack here. And the camera can pivot as well. The benefit of the pivot is because I will take pictures so that I can do a template. I did that for this dog tag right here to get the shape of the bone. And let's move on to the wiring here. So I like to run the wires with slack up top on top of the Galvo head. I will mount my light right here. You can mount it anywhere you want with double-sided tape. I like to leave slack. And then the camera will go to the back of the Galvo head here. And here is the ring light. And what I do is run an extension and I put the ring light directly into a USB hub down here. And this will then run to my computer. Okay, we're gonna move on to the computer setup now. So for Windows and Mac, you can use this app called SplitCam. So it's splitcam.com/downloads. So go ahead and download this and install it. And once you do that, you can open up the program and kind of follow this video on how to set up your camera. All right, so now we have the SplitCam app open. Once you get into this main page here, what you're gonna want to do is create a scene on the left side by adding one. And then if you click on media layers and you click on it and go to web camera, you will see that the camera shows up. This is just my webcam, just ignore that. I covered it with tape. And then this one, just make sure you choose the highest resolution and go to add camera. I've already done this, so we have a live feed of the camera. So the camera is fully functional at this time. You do not need to do any calibration. So I do want to go over some of the features of having it used through SplitCam. All right, before we head over to Lightburn and look at the overlay and how I use this, I want to show you another feature, which would be clicking on the screen and you can rotate your image however you want. So if you want to look at it upright per se, you would just rotate it there and then you can zoom in. So it works very easily. You can just straighten it out. You know, I would put it probably right about there, and then you can just use your mouse to zoom in. So let's just go ahead and do it right there. And once you minimize SplitCam, ta-da, you have an overlay that you can put anywhere. You can put this on a spare monitor and make it take up the whole monitor, or you can just use it in the corner like I like to. And so I did set up the little trace I did earlier, and I have my little puppy's name in it. So we're going to frame this, and you can see right here, I will enlarge it just once so you can see it a little better. So you can see it's a really good image, and you can see very clearly where the framing is. We'll go ahead and make this small one more time, and we'll get the framing. All right, so now let's get to framing this. So I don't know if everyone is aware of this, but you can hold Control on your keyboard and use the arrow keys to frame in 1mm increments. And you can use just the arrow keys to go, I think, in 5mm increments, but that is really good for framing. So I'm gonna get really close here. I'm gonna just move this over. So right about there. And we are pretty much framed up. I'll just confirm here. Yep, there we go. So let's go ahead and do an engrave on this and see how it goes. Let me make sure my process is correct. Pass. All right. there we go. Easy as that. You have a live engraving of your laser, and you could also set this up to do remote desktop so that you can actually view your computer from your phone. I will cut the video and come back with my phone loaded with the remote desktop so that you can have a look. All right, welcome back everyone. So I have my iPhone here. I have a app called Chrome Remote Desktop installed on the phone, and I'm not going to go through the tutorial on how to set that up. It's pretty easy, and Chrome Remote Desktop will walk you through that. But as you can see, I have my computer here. I can now go to my other workshop, which is full of 3D printers, which is not attached to this one, and I can see and control my laser. With that being said, we are not responsible. I do not recommend working your laser remotely, but if you are comfortable with that and you want to do something remotely, you can. So as you can see, I can see the laser and I could actually fire the laser. So I just did it all from my phone right here. And we're going to do one more dog tag and we're going to call it a day. There we go.